Welcome back to Wave 3 Listens. Often we have 25 again on because a lot of people are getting positive results. That's what it's about. It's very results oriented. But we get personal stories as well. People who may have been suffering from some of the same challenges perhaps you face. With me now is Lisa Innenbach. She's not only a registered nurse, she's one of the owners of 25 again. And a very special guest on a number of levels is Carla Schraub. Carla, welcome into Wave 3 Listens.
Thank you.
So I say a special guest on a number of levels. I'll let you do the big reveal here.
Well,
Carla and you have a little bit of a relationship.
A little bit. All of our members are special, of course, but Carla happens to be my sister. She lives in Texas, and she came last May to have her labs drawn because she had heard about, of course, everything that we do when her and I were talking about it, and she wanted to check it out. So in order to be a member, you have to be seen by a physician every year. So the good news is she's back in town, and she's able to get her meds refilled, but she's been off of them for 6 weeks. And in a little bit, we're going to talk about that, but not yet. First, I want to give everybody an overview for those of you who don't know us, who haven't heard of us, of what we do. We're 25 again, and the reason that we are named 25 again is because as you age, you start to lose vital hormones in your body. There's nothing you can do about it, absolutely nothing. You can eat right, you can exercise, everything can be perfect, but those hormone levels are going to go down, and that's just not healthy. Most people come to us for symptoms. They're having hot flashes, their energy levels aren't good, their libido isn't good, their metabolism isn't the same, their skin is dry, their hair is falling out. All these are hormone related symptoms. This is what we take care of. They're not sleeping through the night, they're moody, they might be depressed. And these are the things that we give back to the body that you had at the level when you were 25. If you think about it, when you're 25, you're probably your most healthy. You don't seem to have age related diseases in general. Alzheimer's, cancer, high blood pressure, diabetes, all these things are age related and they can be prevented. A little bit of history on me. My mom died of ovarian cancer back in 2001. I knew nothing about hormones. My husband has diabetes on his side, some blood pressure problems, cholesterol, all these things that my family were facing. What can I do to prevent it? What I found was hormones, if they're done the right way, and that means bioidentical. You have to do a bioidentical for it to be safe and for you to be able to do them long term, not synthetic, and we'll probably get into that a little bit later.
All right, interesting. So this is an interesting story. I've done a little bit of reading on Carla, but before we get to your personal story, let's talk about family issues here. Okay, Lisa.
I made her do the hormones. She was driving me crazy.
I bet you her energy level over the phone is off the charts.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's a good thing.
She's very passionate about what she does.
Yep, and that's a good thing, and very knowledgeable as well.
Absolutely.
I'm curious though, Lisa claims that when she was younger, she was overweight. Okay, the big reveal.
Yes, she was.
I told you. Pleasantly plump.
Pleasantly plump,
is what my mother said.
There you go, because your mom loves
my
you.
brothers called me fat, but mom said pleasantly plump.
Okay, now that we have that straight.
Now that you got that.
That's right. So you're talking, I'm trying to picture exactly how this all came down here. So you're talking to Lisa, she's excited about what she's doing.
Right.
And were you feeling some symptoms or challenges, maybe some of the things that she said you were resonating with you? Is that what happened here, Carla?
Yes, I've been talking to her about their business since they started it, and so last May when I came, I was really interested in getting started and actually getting some results for myself because she was so passionate about it. And of course I told her that I was having hot flashes and actually inflammation and arthritis and low libido and all of those great things that come with being 55.
I understand. So, I mean, and like, yeah, this isn't unusual, so it's nothing to be ashamed of. In fact,
right.
But I guess the thing for me, and I'm sure for a lot of those watching, is like, okay, so what can I do? And I want you to explain, before we go more into Carla's personal story, it's not just all about hormones. There's more to it. You always refer to pieces to the puzzle.
Absolutely.
So what was her puzzle like?
Well, her puzzle was very similar to a lot of women that are postmenopausal. As we age and we start to lose that estrogen, again, that's not healthy. It can cause hot flashes. Even if you're not having symptoms, I like to tell people, please don't think that you're not a candidate. I had a lady just come in the other day and she said, honestly, I just heard this was really good for me, so I want to know more about it. She didn't have any symptoms. So I explained to her, even if you're not having symptoms like sleeplessness, decreased energy, muscle tone, weight gain, stress, mood changes, hot flashes, and as we went through it, I will say she did end up having a few symptoms, but nevertheless, your body isn't as healthy as it was when you were younger. So that's why it's important for me me and my family to be on the hormones and to make sure that they age and that they can age as healthy as they possibly can. But Carla, yes, she was having hot flashes. She said her libido was low, her energy wasn't as good, metabolism, and all these things kind of came together. Luckily, our son graduated last May, and she was able to make a visit in town. So she came in, she got assessed, and she found out exactly what hormones that she was low in. Not everybody's low in exactly the same things, and not everybody is exactly the same. We have to put all these pieces of the puzzle together, and women are just much, much more difficult to kind of fit those pieces together than men. You men are just a little bit simpler when it comes to hormones, but that's okay.
But that hurt. Maybe true.
We can make it work. But the fact is, I mean, kind of the neat thing actually is she wasn't able to make it back in town until just this week. And she has told me this past 6 weeks has been really, really hard because the symptoms have come back. It's not something that you can just go on and then stop doing. That's the difference between synthetic and bioidentical too. When a doctor or physician, if they do put you on a synthetic hormone, they'll only put you on for a year or two. Why? Because they know it can cause some nasty diseases in the future, cancers and other things that I obviously don't want to be exposed to. And it's because it's not matched molecule for what your body makes. So when we sit down with a potential member, we go over and we have the lab work and we say, you know, you had your estrogen levels were here when you were, you know, younger, your progesterone levels were here, your DHEA, your vitamin D3, your thyroid, but now they're here. And a regular physician will say, well, that's normal for your age because the lab looks normal. Well, the problem is it's not what you had when you were younger. And when you were younger, you know how you felt. So we sit down and we educate. That's our biggest job, is to educate all of our members and make sure they know exactly what's going on. And that can take some time as well. That's why we always make our appointments for at least an hour the first time. Usually the appointments after that last a half an hour. Studies show you have 6 minutes in with your physician. And most of the time when you're in there saying, my energy's low, I don't feel good, my mood's changed, they're writing out an antidepressant as fast as they can. What's wrong with that? Your body doesn't make it. You don't make Lexapro. You don't make Wellbutrin. You don't make those things. But you sure make progesterone and estrogen and testosterone, even for women. So these are the things, again, that we give back, what your body has actually already made. It's just not making it as fast as it used, or in levels that it used to be.
So 25 again is giving you a more youthful normal.
Yes.
Yeah, the normal has changed, and I think with everything medical, things evolve for the better, and this is certainly a case of that, and that's why the success of 25 again is so obvious here in this town, because people talk and they tell stories and they talk about how good they feel. Okay, let's talk about, you've been a member since May, correct?
Right, May of last year.
And you're saying some of the symptoms returned, and you said everyone's journey is a little bit different. So because did she stop the treatments, or exactly what was going on?
Well, she had to, because if you have to be seen, have a physical every year. She didn't want to stop.
Right.
In fact, she called and said,
I was begging.
Yeah, no, she really was. And I said, we have to do it the right way. Of course, we talk about safety all the time. And I said, the only way for you to get back on the program is to either find somebody in Texas, and I think she had some troubles doing that, or come back into town, see our physician. You have to have a physical at least once a year. So we're all about safety, and we had to make sure that she did that. So she made her way into town. It was kind of my ploy to get her in here too.
Well,
Which was fun.
You look fantastic, and whenever you have a member who comes on the show, they exude energy. You do that.
Thank you.
So I want to talk about how you're feeling now, but before we do that, let's go to the phones. We asked for phone calls if you have any questions, 571-5263. Margie joins us now. Margie, good afternoon and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
You have a question?
Yes. My doctor has me on Humatrope because my pituitary gland is not working. And I was wanting to know if the Humatrope was a synthetic hormone, like y'all were talking about.
I'm not really familiar with Humatrope. I do know that we look at the pituitary gland when we check the women's FSH and their LH levels. So that would be something that I would have to get with our physicians and see, because again, I'm not familiar with that. If it is something synthetic, I would highly recommend that you look into that and make sure that you know what you're taking. You know, a lot of times the FSH levels and the LH levels, like I said, that we look at, that look at the pituitary, can give us some different signs that something might be wrong with the pituitary, and it's not giving the signal down to the thyroid gland and some other things that is causing you not to make the hormones that you once made. Now, that being said, if you're 35 or over, you're going to lose those hormones no matter what, whether you have pituitary issues or not. At age 40, you've only got about half of what you had when you were 25. So my recommendation would be, before you got labs drawn, is to give our office a call at that 425-0500 number, ask for Lauren, and she can ask the appropriate questions, set you up with a physician, and make sure it's something that you are a good candidate for before you get your lab strong.
Yep, once again, safety is priority one with 25 again, formerly Body Shapes Medical. Okay, we're going to take a little break. Coming up here, we're going to show you a deal. That's right, half off. Half off your initial consultation, and we're talking about an hour here, folks, so get ready for that. And also more about Carla and how she feels today. Again, 25 again. Lisa Innenbach is here. Carla Schraub, I hope I got that right, Schraub.
You got it right.
I got it right. All right, is here with us as well. We'll be right back after these on Wave 3 Listens. We're live.